Just in terms of you making that decision then, I know you know the Northwest anyway, it was your home for a good number of years, so you know the area very well. But what sort of conversations did you maybe need to have first, whether that be personally or professionally?
First I had to speak with the missus, you know. But my family are good as gold, so they would have followed me to Timbuktu if that's where we needed a job. So I can't say I've come back for family reasons. I can't say I've come back because I just love the Northwest. I do, but that's not the reason. It's a professional career decision. And the conversations I needed to have is I needed to be able to speak to the owners. I needed to be able to speak to some other members of the club. I needed to especially get all the information I could have to make the most informed decision. And then I was attracted by the fact that I think there's good people there. And I think in football you can go around so many clubs and you get attached to the badge and you get attached to the logo and you get attached to, you know, the money, but in reality, you know, it's a people's business. And so I've chosen for good people. That's it.
We speak in football about projects and visions and similar phrases like that. Have you got a vision or a project in your mind already for what you think Burnley can or will or might become?
Yeah, I do, very clearly. But do you know, the difficulty in football is when you mention the word project and vision, when you lose the first game, you get slapped in the face with, yeah, but we need short-term results. And what I found is more important is that we just have an environment where we stay together. Whether, you know, good times, bad times, we can stay kind of on course on where we want to go. And rather than making big announcement of this is where we want to be, it's more about having the discipline to be just believing in each other. Like I'll be buzzing, I'll be so happy if fans can first and foremost say, do you know what, we just enjoy going to the games. Like when they play, they want to go forward, they go after it, they want to score goals. Don't misunderstand, you know, I know that we need to be aggressive as well. And I know we need to be a mean place to come to, I really get that. But I want it to be fun for the fans, and you know, if it starts with this and then we have behind it a structure that allows us to keep hold of the players that we think are good for the club, bring in better players that we think are not only going to be good for the club on the short term, but in the long term as well, sell for a profit so we can grow the club naturally and actually maybe fight and punch in a place above this level where we're at now. But with the means to grow again. And so the idea is there, the structure is there, and every move we'll make will be towards that idea. But in the end, for now, I want fans to just enjoy going to a Burnley game, and if it hasn't been good, we can be honest with each other and, you know, kind of turn it around and go again and improve, and that we've got a team, the fans, the players together. It's more valuable to me right now than big statements, because anyone can make a big statement, but not everyone knows how you need to get to a winning culture.
And you've also played under some of the, I think it's fair to say, world's biggest managers as well. Pep will come to everybody's lips, Mancini's another massive name. So what have you taken with you from them that you've learned, whether that be things that you've learned to replicate or things that you've thought, oh, I don't want to do that?
Yeah, I've learned from every coach I've ever had in my life. Some of them you learn what not to do, but you know, when you mention those great coaches you've mentioned, like Pep and Mancini and you know, Pellegrini and Roberto Martinez, and the main thing I've taken, and I think that's where my passion came from to become a coach, it's really the simple aspect of making players better and believing that if you make players better, you'll win more games. And yeah, these coaches were a great example, of course. And then I've kind of mixed it with coaches from other places that I haven't played with as well, but played against. And you become this version of the coach you want to be.
We need to talk about the fans.
Yeah.
You've played at Turf Moor, you've had Burnley travelling to Manchester City, you know what they're like, you know how passionate they are, how fervent they are, how much you're looking forward to putting smiles on all their faces.
Yeah, if there's one game I knew I was playing, it was Burnley away. So I was kind of the Turf Moor, bottle opener, if you like. You know, I knew I was gonna be needed in those games, and you knew, like, look, you don't go to Turf Moor without a plan. It's gonna be rough, physical, but at the same time, you know, they've always had good players as well who could make things happen out of very few chances. And what can I say? It's these type of away games that the big teams don't like to play. Let's put it this way.
What difference do they make then? What is the difference between a Turf Moor and, I won't mention specific games, but what is that X factor that it has?
No, I think whenever you go to a ground like Turf Moor, you come into, like, first of all, it's a little bit of a step in the past as well. Like, it does have that family feeling to it, and you can imagine that it's, you know, it's a local club, but that's become, you know, it's a local club that's been able to fight against the bigger clubs because of that home that they've had, you know. And going there was just for us always, or for any team I've played in, was a difficult away game, which is very difficult. And you know the fans you know exactly when you get the fans going as well. Do you know, like a good challenge, a set piece, a counter or a break, or an action with pace, and so there's a lot of these moments that I think I understand and that I would want to give to the fans as well, and just try and have it as much as we can, really. You know, have, you know, I hope we'll have big challenges for, you know, like big challenges for fans to get off the seats. You know, I hope we'll have a lot of attacks. You know, I hope we'll be in front of goal quite a lot, so that the fans can live for that as well. I do hope we're not going to be camped in front of our goal too much. You know, that's the way I've been approaching the game. But there's something in me as well who understands that we have to have a game that's for the fans. That's important, especially these type of family places.
Derby matches,
yeah.
And there are a few of them this season as well. What do you know about the passion that Burnley fans have in conditions like that, shall we say, and how much are you looking forward to them?
Yeah, derby matches are the best, you know. And I think you play football to win games. You play football but you know, the type of games you win matters. And I know there's a lot of usually what happens is there's a lot of playing down on these type of occasions, but I prefer to build it up. You know, that's what those games are there for. You know, high rewards and high risk. Whatever happens, you go again, but still, it's worth giving it the appropriate importance it has. Just because when you win, it feels better. And yeah, about the derby. That concerns Burnley in particular. I've researched enough and I know well enough what it means. So it's perhaps not the most known derby in the world, but once you understand what's at stake, it's those you want to be involved in. Very clear to me.
There's already thousands upon thousands of season ticket holders who are buzzing about your appointment. Fans who can't get to games around the world are buzzing about your appointment. If there are fans who are undecided at the moment still about whether they are going to pick up a season ticket themselves or to come and watch Burnley, what would you say to them?
I think the biggest thing for me, I spoke about, I don't like to overpromise and make the big statements of we're going to be Premier League next year and so on, because I prefer to show it in the attitude towards work every single day and be relentless and have the highest ambition. But what I do want to put out there is that my goal is absolutely, and whether it happened in the first day or not, usually not, But my goal is absolutely to have a football that's for the fans. You know, I want an attacking team. I want, you know, movement in the team. I want, you know, a healthy dose of aggression in the team. Something that, you know, fans enjoy doing on a weekend. There's enough rubbish happening in the world every day. I just want to give something more, and I hope that fans will want to come to it, that fans will give us the time to get to that picture, because it doesn't happen overnight. But there's something that I won't deviate from as an ambition, to go to a type of football that on a Sunday with your kids, you want to go there. You want to go there, you know. It's a better option than anything else.
And historically, when you and I have spoken, it's either been post-match at the end of a game or at a community event somewhere. And I know how important that is to you, and has been and still is very much. Are you aware of the importance of, I mean, it's pretty much everything to the town of Burnley Football Club, they're symbiotic. What does that mean to you?
It just means it's more meaningful, because however you like to put it, I think clubs like us, we depend on that community aspect. You know, I think there's, no matter what you want to achieve globally, because ultimately when you get into the Premier League, if we're able to do that, there's always like a bigger picture to it. But whatever we want to achieve in the future will be based on, you know, like very local foundations. You know, how well we are with our community, how well we understand the place will, you know, ultimately decide on how many people will want to support for us as well. I really believe that we just have to be genuine in that, and be the club that is more local than any other club, but at the same time, you know, that anyone is willing to support because of that, because we do put other stuff at the forefront. Yeah, I mean, it's an idea that doesn't just sit there as a policy, or as a, you know, it's not this. I think players have it has to transpire into the group as well. It has to transpire into how we play our football. So I think if you're a community club, if your idea is to be close to your fans, I think that has to transpire in how we approach the game as well, in one way or another.
Local heart, big time mentality.
Yeah.